Weather is going to not be so great in the next couple of days. So there's a possibility we could see more of that.
Well, we're going to have a line of storms moving through, and it's not an all-day event. Most of the day tomorrow will be dry. It's going to be with that line of storms, which won't probably move in until after dark.
Okay.
Timing is still being fine-tuned. It's kind of looking probably more after 10 to about 2 a.m. tomorrow. So let's take a look at the risk of severe weather, which has increased over southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi, really for the entire area, that level 3. That's not a threat level we tend to see. More often we have the level 1 and 2, which is usually kind of an isolated threat. But not only are we under the level 3, but we have this hatched area, which is a significant risk of those stronger, longer duration tornadoes where they touch down and they stay on the ground for a longer period. We've been there before, and we could very well see a similar setup for tomorrow. Now, we start off the morning maybe with some sunshine, but certainly a milder day. We'll begin in the 40s, but quickly warming into the 50s, 60s, and I think probably 60s for much of the day. Right before the front moves through, I think temperatures may kind of peak at around 71, 72 degrees or so. Some spotty to scattered showers in the afternoon and early evening. Now, again, this is one of many models that have been trying to pinpoint the exact timing of the line. About 8:45, we may already start to see that line moving from Lafayette nearing Baton Rouge. So some of the Florida parishes are beginning to see it after about 9 to 10. 10 o'clock toward 11, looks like we're still relatively dry from the line in the city, but more the North Shore getting in on those storms. Maybe around midnight or so that we have that line starting to move into the metro area, continuing across the North Shore and down toward the coast. After midnight to 1, 2 a.m., affecting more of our Mississippi counties before moving on. May see a few stray showers behind the line, but any severe threat is going to be right along this boundary. So it's not going to be an all night or all early morning event. It should be a fairly fast moving line. But again, it will be after dark, and a lot of folks may be starting to go to bed. Just have a way to get those alerts before you go to bed. Right now, though, and today has been a gorgeous day. Chilly, though. Kind of a reminder we're still very much in winter. 56 degrees our current temperature with low humidity. This is still a fairly stable air mass. Chilly, dry. We're going to see a big air mass change tomorrow ahead of the front. Our high today was 56 degrees and a morning low of 45, so right at about average for our high, but it was a chilly start to the day and a fairly chilly afternoon where we are still in the 50s. We're going to cool down into the 40s overnight tonight, but we did wake up with 30s on the North Shore. Not going to be that cold tomorrow morning. Winds out of the northeast, that will start changing direction as well. Later tonight, an easterly wind and a strong wind out of the south during the day tomorrow. In fact, strong enough that the Weather Service is kind of going even above a wind advisory for a high wind watch, where we could see winds in excess of 30 to 40 miles an hour. That's more along the lines of what we would see in a tropical storm, and that would be the sustained wind. Here is the upper system that is setting up, right kind of the four corners, or south of the four corners in the desert southwest. As this system approaches, it will start to create that instability and really get more storms going. So it's one of those, there is no line of storms yet to track. It will develop as this system approaches, and with it being at such a southern latitude, we're seeing more of that main energy much closer to us, which is why the risk of severe weather has increased. This is that high wind watch I was talking about from tomorrow afternoon through the night. We could see gusts of 50 miles an hour, and that's ahead of the line of storms. But with also those strong southerly winds, we may see some minor coastal flooding as that onshore flow really picks up through the afternoon and evening. Winds will quickly change direction once the front moves on through, so that will not be a long duration issue with the coastal flooding once the winds do shift. A little bit of snow and starting to see some rainfall develop along that boundary, but as that system starts to move our way, we'll begin to see more storms. Now, the key to this system with the severe threat is if we get into the warm air sector. Now, that's what most of the models are saying will happen. If this warm front were, say, to stay 2 hours south, we would keep more of a cool, stable atmosphere, and we may not see the severe weather outbreak. But with that being said, most of the models are in agreement we will get into the warm air sector, which would be the fuel for the severe weather threat, which all comes in again late Tuesday, early Wednesday. And then sharply drop temperatures by Wednesday afternoon. We're back into the 50s, and we'll stay chilly through about Friday. Dry on Saturday, but milder. Right now, Sunday also looking to be a fairly wet day.